Now that we also heard from investigators in towns this morning.
The chief of the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, known as SLED, had a staff work overtime on this investigation, and they'll continue to work on the other crimes they say are connected to Alec Murdaugh.
And today is not the end. It's the next step in a long road to justice for every person who has been victimized by Alec Murdaugh. Alec Murdaugh has now been rightfully found guilty of murdering his wife, Maggie, and Paul. He was found guilty because he was guilty.
Well, that statement comes nearly 2 years after SLED reopened several investigations connected to the family because of the murder case. One of those is the 2015 death of Stephen Smith.
Smith's body was found on the side of a Hampton County road in what was described at the time as a hit and run. According to the report from South Carolina Highway Patrol, the Murdaugh name was mentioned multiple times while they were investigating death. Like we just mentioned, SLED says they reopened that investigation on June 22nd of 2021 due to evidence they found during the Murdaugh murder investigation.
New at 5, our Haley Boland is in Hampton County with more on how the Smith family is reacting to the Murdaugh's conviction.
Stephen Smith's final resting place is here at Gooding Cemetery on Sandy Run Road, the same road where Stephen's body was found in 2015. Now, his family is reacting to the guilty verdicts in the Murdaugh murder trial, saying that they soon hope that Stephen will get justice as well. SLED still hasn't officially said what the connection between Stephen Smith's case and the Murdaugh family is. In the Smith family statement released by their attorney, Sandy Smith, Stephen's mom, says the verdict provides much-needed closure to Maggie's and Paul's loved ones, adding, quote, "We firsthand the agony and frustration of being in the dark about how a family member was killed, and I am thankful the whole story was put before the jury in a public trial. One day, I pray the same happens for my Stephen, but today we should honor and remember the victims of this man who so many people trusted." Mike Himlap, the attorney representing the family, says the verdict in this trial is the result of hard work from SLED and the state's attorney general's office, and that the family is, quote, confident they will continue to exhibit this level of dedication to their investigation into Stephen's murder, no matter where that investigation may lead. Just this past July at Gooding Cemetery, Stephen's family and friends gathered to reveal a new headstone for him 7 years after his death as the investigation into the incident continues. Stephen's family continues to encourage anyone with information about his death to reach out to Crime Stoppers or SLED. We'll have that contact information in this story on our website. In Hampton County, Haley Boland, WTOC News.
The Murdaugh mystery saga has been filled with heartbreak, tragedy, and loss. But tonight, some good coming from all of this for the family of Stephen Smith. This blue marker on Sandy Run Road in Hampton County reminds passerbys of a life gone too soon. The life of Stephen Smith.
He was funny. He was hilarious. He was just a ray of sunshine when he walked in a room. He was always smiling, loved books, wanted to be a doctor.
Stephen was just 19 years old when his body was found here in the middle of the highway. His death ruled a hit and run. Today, Stephen would be 25, and still, his family questions what happened to Stephen the night of July 8th, 2015.
I know Stephen. He wouldn't have been in that road. He had his phone on him. He would have called.
Back in June, shortly after the murders of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh, SLED announced it was looking into Stephen's death based on information during the Murdaugh murders investigation. SLED did not elaborate on what that evidence was.
I was so happy. I couldn't even cry for hours. I was in shock.
As word about this case and Stephen's spread, a stranger came to visit Stephen's grave in the Gooding Cemetery and found Stephen had no headstone. That's when she contacted his mother, Sandy, and started a fundraiser through Steedley Monument Works to get Stephen a headstone.
It means a lot. It means the world. To know that there's still caring and loving people, you know, in this world. And I'm grateful for all that they're doing.
Sandy and Stephen's twin sister are now working together to come up with a design for it.
He loved the beach, so we were going to do like a beach scene and then have his picture on there.
knowing Stephen would be proud.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna tell you what he would say. You would do that for me?
Aw.
If you would like to donate to Stephen's headstone, you can call Steedley Monument Works at 843-538-8103.
Oh, and speaking of that stranger that they were talking about in that video, I want to introduce her. I want to say thank you very much to Susanne Andrews for joining us tonight. She is the founder of Standing for Stephen. I'll go ahead and share that right now. It looks like some more people just signed it. And how are you doing tonight? Oh, you're on mute. And I'm going to put the link to the hate crime bill in chat. So if you would like to click on that and sign that.
There we go. Hi.
There we go. Good evening. Thank
Sorry.
you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. So the founder of Standing for Stephen, can you tell me a little bit about what made you create it, and also what did you know him? What got you interested?
Yeah, I did not know the Smith family. I did not know Stephen. After the murders of Maggie and Paul, there were a bunch of Facebook pages popping up. And I just happened to randomly see a picture that Ashley Gandy had posted. And it was just a picture of Stephen's gravesite with just a plastic placard with his name, year of birth, year of death, and this little ceramic cat. And my son at the time was 16, and it had been 6 years since Stephen's death, and it just pulled at those mama heartstrings, and just couldn't imagine, that being my child and no one stepping up to help. My father, obviously Stephen was gay, and my father owns a private gay club here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the longest standing private gay clubs in the Southeast for over 40 years.
Wow.
And so I immediately called my dad and just said, hey, Dad, if I can get in touch with this mom, with Sandy Smith, and get her permission, could we do a fundraiser or something to try to raise money to get this child a headstone? And at the time, I'm thinking $2,000, $3,000, and we're good to go. So it turned into much, much, much more. I bit off more than I knew I was going to bite off. Yes, there's the little cat. I am not a cat fan. I am not a cat fan. I have a lab and a golden doodle, and you may or may not hear them screaming because they're outside right now. But that's the cat that just, it tore me into a million pieces. So within 4 weeks, we got a fundraiser together, and down here in the South, college football dictates everything. And especially being in Columbia, especially being in Columbia, the University of South Carolina is here. So I was trying to pick a weekend that we didn't have a football game at home, just because of traffic purposes. And my dad's bar is literally like a mile from the stadium. So we got it together in 4 weeks. I met Sandy for the first time at Stephen's gravesite, probably 2 weeks before the fundraiser. And at that point is when I found out Stephen's daddy is buried to the left of him. And he also did not have a headstone. He passed away 3 months after Stephen from a broken heart. And then to the right of Stephen, to just, make the story even more heartbreaking, to the right of Stephen is a 2-month-old little boy Miss Sandy lost several years before.
Wow.
So it,
wow.
I am grateful for it. It's been an amazing journey, and a rewarding just to know that you can give back to someone that doesn't have the means to be able to do what they need to do for their child.
That is, and it is so amazing of you. It's kind of crazy that you came across it random, almost like
Yeah.
it was fate in a way. Um, we we were actually watching one of the videos that I was using for my special, and I noticed the cat, missing some paint on the head and stuff, and I was like, and I seen that, and I was like, "Aw."
It still brings tears
And
to my eyes. I just,
yeah, it's so sad. And that was the first video we came across, and I was just like, "Aw." And then I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Somebody put together something." And then we got into the next video, and then that's when we noticed the standing for Stephen and all of the things that you had accomplished since that video, because this video is, I think, a year old or longer. Um,
yeah.
and when we saw the a video from a few weeks ago and everything that you had accomplished in that short period of time, and then we heard some of the mother's story, and yeah, we totally understand. We looked into the financials of the area. We know that it's an area that's been hit pretty hard, and just knowing that it had been that long, and they weren't able to get something beyond that, and then what you were able to accomplish, and it was just like, wow, this woman is amazing.
Now,
And go ahead.
thank you, but no. I'm
No,
just a mama.
seriously. You may, and that's what makes you so beautiful, is that you not only did this out of the kindness of your heart for somebody you didn't even know, something that you just came across random, the things that you were able to accomplish, and how humble you are about it all just now, laughing and saying that you're just a regular, mom. And that right there is what makes you such a beautiful, amazing person.
Thank
And I
you.
can't thank you enough. I don't even know, this person. We don't even really know each other. But the way that you've affected me inside my soul and affected everybody that's in my channel, we really do just appreciate
Okay, you're
you
gonna make me
being.
cry. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. It's more human, it's humans like you that, it's the 5% out of the 95. There's a lot of 95 out there, and you're one of those 5%, and none of us could thank you enough for everything that you're doing and have done and will continue to do. I imagine not only for Stephen, but things in the future, because what's in your heart and what's in your soul can't be duplicated, and it can't be recreated. It basically has to just manifest and become what it is, and you're so special, so thank you.
Well, thank you, thank you. By no means. I mean, I truly had no idea this was going to become what it became. I just did it because of my son, who's now 18. He was the thought, the seed, the inspiration behind this, that I just couldn't imagine that being my baby there, and no one had come to my aid, and it was the least I could do. I've been very blessed in this life in certain areas, maybe not so much in other areas, but it was the least I could do to try to give back, because the Lord has been definitely good to me.
It's so awesome. It's the heart. It's the character. There's plenty of people out there that have similar situations, and they didn't even do an ounce of what you did.
And I've had a lot of people say, I don't want to say a lot. Several people have, made comments. Well, there are plenty of children out there that don't have headstones. Why are you not doing it for everyone? Well, if I could, I would. I'm also an animal lover. Now, not necessarily kitty cats. Now, I like kittens, just not cats. But if I could put in every dog possible that needed a home, I would, but I can't. So it's
Right.
kind of the same thing. It's, if I could, I would do it in a skinny heartbeat. But I do have a real job and a real life I'm an accountant. Like I've never done a fundraiser before. I've never done anything like this. So if anyone questions that, it's, if I could do it for everyone, by all means, I would jump on that train in a skinny heartbeat and get it done.
Right. Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and share the what the headstone looks like now. I do have a closer picture. I apologize.
Do you have a picture of the back of it?
Yeah, let me see. I did see that. I had a whole bunch of pictures ready to go, and my StreamYard's bugging. So, let me see here. I did. Where was it? Right there.
There it is.
Right there. Now I lay you down to sleep. I pray the Lord your soul to keep within his arms. He'd hold you tight. My heavenly angel, my guiding light.
I mean,
That is so beautiful.
Yep. Miss Sandy did that.
Aw.
Stephen's
And,
mom.
when I didn't even notice this until last night's show, is the waves in
The ocean.
Yeah. And then the sand with the love
The heart in the
written out like a
sand.
finger. Yeah. I didn't notice that until last night when we were kind of just going through some other stuff. And I was like, wow.
Steedley
so amazing.
Monuments down in the Low Country. I think they're in Hampton County. I'm pretty sure they're in Hampton County. They did both Stephen and Mr. Joel's, Stephen's dad's headstone, and they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Very beautiful. So what's going on with the standing for Stephen right now with the petition? I'm going to go ahead and show that again, and I'm going to share that link again. If there's anybody that's just coming in, if you don't mind clicking on it, every signature matters, but what signatures matter the most, and what do those people need to do?
Obviously, we are grateful for any signatures. Will not turn down any signatures. However, since this is for the state of South Carolina, we need as many South Carolinians to sign this petition. Obviously, if you're in favor of the hate crime bill, those are the ones that are really going to come down, the putting the pedal to the metal with these signatures, South Carolinians. And they need to could go to their local House representatives and definitely their senators and express their desire to have this hate crime bill passed so that we're no longer ignored by the senators as their constituents. The bill has been passed by the House. It's about to go into the Senate, and it was last year. It was passed in the House, but it died in the Senate. So it has come back up again, and it was just passed last week in the House again. So now it's going to the Senate, and fingers, toes, and hairs are crossed that they will hear us this time. And the more signatures we get, the louder we are, and the less they can ignore us.
And so the House keeps passing it, but the Senate doesn't?
Correct.
Really? And how many times has that taken place? Do you know?
I want to say this is the second go around. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the second go around. Our senators, I don't know about all of them, but they have a mindset of, we already have federal hate crime laws. Why do we need state level? Well, why do we not? We're 2 of 50 states. South Carolina and Wyoming are the only 2 in the United States that does not have a hate crime bill.
Just 2.
So we're marching in the opposite direction from the rest of the country.
This is 2023.
Yes, and it's not just, I'm trying to be politically correct, but I sometimes don't have a filter. A lot of them have phobias of certain lifestyles, and they think it's just about the LGBTQ community, and it's not. It's about Blacks. It's about your Catholics, Jews, Chinese.
Right.
It can even be about, you and I discussed this earlier, it can even be about white people. And I know that's sometimes won't set well with some people because whites are looked at as privileged, and I get that. But when I testified at the State House 2 weeks ago, I point blank said that I am a white, privileged female that is a conservative Republican having to come up here and beg for help for others. And it's silly. It's awful.
Right. And it's a hate crime. It's not a gay hate crime bill. It's a hate crime bill. So that.
Exactly.
Right.
But they also, their other angle to it is, how can you get into someone's mind and know that they were intentionally killing because of a certain race, religion? Well, normally those people leave very strong clues as to why they've gone into a gay club or why they've gone into a Black church, like we had at the Emmanuel 9 in Charleston, South Carolina back in 2015. You know, I don't know. It's old school thoughts and very regressed. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. Just they do not have
They're
very
stuck. Yeah, they're stuck in the past in some.
a digressed way
areas.
of thinking. Maybe is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And I'm sorry,
totally
my dogs
understand
are
that.
screaming. I don't know
Oh,
if
you're
you can
fine.
hear them.
No, you're fine. No, it's not a problem at all. Seriously, I really appreciate you being up here. And honestly, when it comes to the pets, I'm just going to be honest with you. All of my community here, we do share pictures of pets and stuff. So I'm just throwing it out there. If you'd ever like to take a picture of your puppies and
I've
send
got
them in,
some.
you're
Yes,
more
I
than
will send them in.
okay. You're more than welcome. Yeah, just if you do, send them to evilcj@gmail.com.
Okay.
And then yeah, we share pictures of pets. I mean, there's a couple nights ago we had the beginning of the show, the first hour, we were showing Kevin Kraft's fish. It was great. I love it.
It seems like I heard that. I was trying
Yeah.
to look it up, and it seems like I heard that.
Yeah. They're part of the family, you know, just like everybody else. They're family members too. So,
Oh,
and
mine, don't tell mine that they're dogs. They'll get offended.
We won't. We'll call him Buddy. Buddy, is it a boy and a girl or?
I have
boy?
a male lab, Jack. His name is Sir Gentleman Jack.
Gentleman Jack. Ooh,
Sir
nice.
Gentleman Jack. And then
Sir Gentleman Jack. Okay.
and then I have a golden doodle, and her name's Mia.
Mia. All right.
Yes.
So whenever we get that picture, whether it's tonight or another night, I will definitely pop it up and I will give a shout out
Absolutely.
to Sir Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, and it's JAK.
Oh, hey, thank you, because I need to make sure I get it spelled right. We don't want them upset with us.
I'm trying to see if I can pull some up. You keep talking and
Okay. So I got your Twitter up here right now. Please, everybody, if you have Twitter, you're on Twitter, please follow her and retweet these tweets that she has up here. This stuff's important.
Yes, and I'm fairly new to Twitter, not quite sure how it all works.
Yeah, me neither.
But I'm there.
Yes, and definitely like love and retweet, whatever you call it, love and retweet these things.
Absolutely.
Because the more that this gets out there, this is, like she said, this is not a gay hate crime bill, it's a hate crime bill. And so that's what these senators need to understand. That's what these senators need to get through up here, because I mean, I don't know. I'm not a political person, but does it cost them money, or does I mean, what do they have to do other than say yes? I don't understand. Is it just that?
It is. Okay, so I just sorry, ADD. I just sent you a picture on private messenger.
Oh, okay.
If that
Oh,
helps.
wow! Look at that picture. Okay. That is cool. Aw.
But that's a good question. I don't think it does. I think that it's just they're stubborn, they're old. They have.
There we go.
That was
I
one
would
of our
zoom in if I
Christmas
could.
cards.
Yeah, look at that. That's awesome.
Um,
Look at them.
aren't they sweet?
Yes. Wow. Thank you.
But it's just a different way of life down here, and Lord knows I'm from Alabama, so
Oh,
you know
wow.
you would think that would even be more backwoods, but I don't know. Our state is very unique. It is. It's not what you know; it's who you know.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
who is due the back scratch at that moment.
Yeah. Bobby's
It's
cousin
different.
and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very different.
I feel you, because I came from Akron and I'm in Indiana now, and I totally feel you about the change in the culture, or maybe not necessarily the culture, but some of the little parts where it's like, yeah, this is a little different than what I'm
If you're
used to.
not from here, I mean, I know politics are politics, and there's always some kind of little web, but unless you're from here, it's hard to explain for someone to understand the disgusting stuff that goes on within our legal system. I'm talking from our family courts to, criminal courts, federal court. It's appalling. It's absolutely appalling.
It is. And one of these other, not to change, I'll just, for 30 seconds here, I'm covering another topic, the Ohio train derailment and the chemical spill there.
Mhm.
And the DHS is labeling Erin Brockovich as a terrorist, so she's not able to come back to the town.
What?
So, yeah. So that right there.
Wait a minute,
Total-
Erin Brockovich. Hold on. She's a terrorist. However, the people that took the individuals from South Carolina
Mhm.
and Mexico are not labeled terrorists.
Or the people that are labeling her a terrorist either. I mean, it's, yeah.
Wowza.
The Ohio law enforcement and the DHS are, yeah. So I didn't want to, but yeah, it goes all the way down to the bottom, even down to DHS.
Yeah.
It's some. I'm not going to say all because that's not the truth, but some, yeah. And I'm sure all the way up to the top, because as we're covering, this case that brought us to this, I definitely see a lot of back scratching and who and all of that stuff involved, and that's one thing that made me feel really sad for Sandy, was the fact that this is her son, and the fact that not only she had to deal with grieving her son and how it took place and how it's still open, but also to be surrounded by that atmosphere of what was kind of created. So
yeah,
it's just very sad, and she's got a special place in all of our hearts too. So
she is.
If you can let her know that.
None of us are perfect, but she, by all means, amazes me. couldn't even imagine being in her shoes, don't want to imagine it. And she has held herself to such standards that I just admire. You know, I'm sure she has her breakdowns. I'm sure she has her moments where, you know, she might say or do things, you know, that all of us as human beings
We're
would.
human, right?
Yeah, but overall, she truly, truly just amazes me.
And she's such a sweetheart, because any of the stuff that we've gone over in my shows where she's popped up and talked, nothing but respectful, nothing, you know, but sweet and kind, and just wants answers. You know, just wants answers. The real answers, not answers that other people want to create.
Absolutely. She doesn't care the name attached. She just wants to know who and why. It doesn't matter who it was. I mean, obviously it matters, but it doesn't matter what that who name is. It's just she wants answers to what happened to her baby. And, you know, as she said, she knew his first words. She didn't know his last.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
what a.
Geez.
Yeah, I remember that in one of the shows, and I was just like, wow, like that hits you. It hits you right there. It's hitting me right now just hearing that.
Yeah, it's she's pretty amazing. Pretty dang amazing.
Damn, it hit me so hard I even forgot my next question. Damn, on the fly. So when did she get in contact with you? Like, how did you get to know her? How did that happen? Like,
Well,
I know with the headstone and such, but
sure, yeah. So we met that first time at the cemetery, and obviously we kept in touch for the next 2 weeks for the fundraiser. And I don't know, I mean, she just became a part of my family and become a part of hers. She comes and stays with me. Like if she comes to Columbia, she and her sister stayed with me, I don't know, it's maybe 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Ago. But yeah, she'll
That's
come
awesome.
and stay with me and hang out for the weekend, come and go, you know, as she pleases. And she'll go to my dad's bar every so often. And
oh, neat.
Yeah, she made some good friends down there at the bar, and she loves to go and visit and hang out with them. And but I mean, I don't know. It was just one of those things. We just clicked, and she's a very, very important person to me, and she knows that. Like, I just want to cuddle up on the couch with her sometimes and just, you know, just sit there and listen to her. So,
well, they say that people come in your life for a season or a reason, and she's definitely a reason.
I hope it's not a season.
Oh no, it's more than a season already. It's been a few, and there's going to be a lot more, I'm sure. Now I remember what I was going to mention or tell you. When you said that she doesn't care what name it is, I just want to let you, you know, if you can let her know, to everybody, and I mean it, and I meant it when I started doing these shows, I'm gonna do, and I know I'm just a little minnow in this big ocean here, but I am gonna do everything that I can do when it comes to this evidence, when it comes to this brainstorming, when it comes to this figuring out. And this isn't just about Murdaugh, and a lot of people think it is just about Murdaugh, but there are so many more names, so many more possibilities, so many more theories that really need to be looked at. And I already know of a couple people that should have been questioned already, but I don't know what's, I don't know what's going on with that. Do you know, has any of the Murdaughs even been questioned about this?
as much as I would love to be able to speak about some things, you know, I would never do anything to jeopardize the family or Stephen's case. So I may know some answers that I can't say, or some answers that I don't know, but I truly don't know about that one.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be, you know, aloof with anything, but I just have to be very careful out of respect to the family and to Sandy. I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I totally understand that, and I appreciate you for saying that. And I understand you're not Ellie, so that, you know, you probably wouldn't, you know that type of stuff maybe. And, you know, I know you're pressed on time, and what I'd like to do is maybe in the future, if you'd like to be on, we could just have a show where maybe we could ask some questions about different things
Absolutely.
or whatever. And
Absolutely.
then if this would be cool, I could always kind of send you like different, not just like a whole list of stuff, but just generalized things about what I might be going over or whatever. And, you know, if it's something that is not in that area or whatever, totally cool. I totally understand, because as we deal with all these true crime cases and such, a lot of it has to be speculation. A lot of it, we know if it's not coming from this, you know, there's different things when it comes to information and such. So I totally understand that you wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, even some of the most, what you would assume or believe to be some of the most reliable outlets, or however you want to refer to them, there are things out there that are not accurate.
Oh, okay.
And I won't reveal what that is, because if law enforcement wanted the public to know the truth, they would put it out there. It's not like I know some big top secret, you know, CIA intel or anything. It's nothing like that. Just, you know, I just know just certain little things that I would love to be able to scream out, but I won't. So you just have to be careful
Right.
with people love to gossip, and at the end of the day, that's a human being right there. You know, he might be in stone right there, but he is a human being, and his mother and sisters and brothers, they're humans and they have feelings, and this isn't just a story. This is their reality. And there's so much junk out there, and it breaks my heart, but it's not my son and it's not my place. But just have to take several things. Like one thing I know, I was trying to catch up with your last 2 episodes today while I was working, and
Thank you so much.
I tried my best. But
I know I do some long shows, trust me.
But one of the things I wrote down was that he was 3 miles from the nearest gas station. And this is just public knowledge. I'm not like revealing any crazy, you know, stuff. But where his body was found, it was 3 miles from his car, but it was in the direction of going to his dad's house, not to a gas station. His dad lived off Joe Miley Road. So where his body was, it's kind of like a triangle, and I don't know how to try to show this.
Well, I was doing some Google stuff last night. And
Joe Miley.
Okay. So when I was doing this last night, because I thought he was 3 miles in the opposite direction of the closest gas station.
He may very well have been, but he was 3 miles from his car. I do know that for a fact. I don't know where the gas stations were. But his body, so keep moving your cursor. Okay, go to the Y. Nope. Okay, right there. Okay. See the little green thing? It says something cemetery.
Yeah,
Right
Snyder's.
there. Okay. So he was, I wish I could enlarge my screen. I can't. He was somewhere around in there, like going toward Joe Miley Road, which is where he lived with his daddy.
Let me see here. Let me try and do this here. I'm gonna hop us off the screen. I will see if that'll bring it up. That's about as close as I can get.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sitting here pointing like you can see. But okay,
Sorry.
so if you, all right, okay, move your little cursor. Okay,
Uh-oh.
go up to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, so somewhere right around in there is where he was found, and Joe Miley Road is where he lived. So it wasn't as if and there may be a gas station somewhere around in there. I doubt it. I've been there. I've walked this road with Sandy, but it was as if he was walking toward his father's house.
Okay, so that's what we thought too, because when we were going over this and I was trying to kind of piece everything together here on Google, because this is supposedly right here is where his vehicle was found. Okay, in this little pulled in area. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
It
Okay. Was okay. So it was on the other side of the road, though. You're
really?
correct.
So it was actually over here.
That little spot right there. Yep, that's where it was.
All right. So it was like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not moving. Here, I can do this. Add a destination. Remove destination. Okay, so we'll just move that. Huh, I wonder why it's doing that. It's okay, well, I'll keep that in my mental. For some reason, it's not letting me go to the other way. So that's where his car was found. Now, this is where I have the location of his body. And let me see if I can drop Google Guy there.
There is a little bitty house. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Right there?
Yep. That's the little bitty house. Turn back the other way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So that is in the vicinity right there. And this is on the police report. It's not like I'm, giving away secret information. I think there's even a light pole number on the police report, so you can figure out exactly from which light pole it is.
Light pole number. Okay.
Yeah. So, but no one was in that home at the time. No one was living in that little house. Yeah. At least that's my remembering. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was told. No one was there, living there.
Oh, living there. Oh. Not that they weren't home, but that nobody
no one was living there at the time. Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. And totally appreciate you listening to the show. Since I'm going to be doing these specials, I have other nights where I do other ones, but whenever I do these, if there's anything that, I get wrong or I'm confused or anything, please don't hesitate to put me on the correct path when it comes to
on the ones
this,
that I can, I will.
I appreciate it. Like, seriously, because any bit of knowledge is, we're the ones that don't have to worry about speaking political. We don't have to worry about not saying something. We can be the ones that can be the voice to say, yo, this is what could have taken place. Hey, this is what can make sense. And so we can be those in between kind of voices to kind of help other people think that there can be other scenarios, there can be other people, there can be other theories out there that could be possible, and you never know. The last couple years, there's been a lot of YouTube shows that have helped solve these cases.
Yeah. And
And
I pray that Stevens will be one of them. And it's in God's timing, and I don't know. I just, my hashtag for standing for Stephen kind of became, if you know something, say something. And, I would encourage anyone that has, I don't care how minute you think the information may be, please go to SLED, go to the Crime Stoppers of the Low Country.
Crime Stoppers of the Low Country.
Low Country, yeah, I can't remember if it's Crime Stoppers of the Low Country or Low Country Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
If for some reason someone, is too scared or doesn't feel comfortable doing that, you can send me a PM message on Facebook or Twitter, and I promise anonymity. I've had a couple people do that, and I've passed it along and upheld my promise on anonymity. Now, if it gets to the point, where I'm forced to tell by law enforcement, that's a different story. But I do promise that. But I don't need rumors. SLED doesn't need rumors. If you're going to reach out, it's got to be factual, not just your assumptions or what you think may or may not have happened.
Yeah, you don't need to watch the show and then call the number and say, "Hey, I
this
heard."
is what I'm thinking.
Right?
Like,
No. And seriously, yes, with the way that this case has gone, if anybody deserves justice, it's this young man. Seriously,
sure does.
and the mother, because for this to have happened, for this to have gone on this long, for
8 years this July.
8 years now. Wow.
This July will be 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of sixes in my show, just because of the stuff we're kind of catching up with.
Mhm.
Then I heard some sevens. I didn't hear 8 until just now. That's crazy. What? Yep, July 8th. Wow, I didn't even realize it. It is 8 years. Wow.
Yeah, it's sad. But people need to, friends his age and Stephanie's age today more than likely have children of their own. They need to stop and think about that. And if that was your baby, wouldn't you want somebody, again, even if it's just the most minuscule piece of information that you may have, please come forward.
For sure. If I can have any of the mods, if there's phone numbers that they can maybe look up and throw in the chat, in case anybody's in replay as well that might catch this in the future. Is now when it comes to this petition, do they call? Do they play? Is it email okay? Like, what kind of contact for somebody that isn't familiar with how the political system works and how those things work? Exactly how do they contact? Is it just a phone number? Or?
I think so. Well, as far as the petition, and I want to clarify this, it will ask if you want to donate. It's not necessary to donate. And I had to Google this. The donations, if you do make a donation, it does not come to me. It does not go to the Smith family. It goes to change.org. And change.org obviously has to make money somehow. But it also uses some of that money to promote the petition for more signatures. But you can still sign and make a comment without contributing. Perfectly fine. But as far as contacting your local representatives or senators, you just need to Google. If you don't know who they are, Google that. There are email addresses, phone numbers for all of them online on sc.gov. It's simple, I would say, to just look it up and just reach out, and don't stop till you get somebody answering the phone or an email.
I'm gonna go ahead and look that up right now. Actually, sc.gov.
Yes, well, that's just a part of the like website, but they could just
Okay.
Google, like if you live in, I don't know, Greenville, look up Greenville, South Carolina, House Representatives and Senators as far as where your location is within Greenville. And they can figure out who their local representatives are.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. You can come on in.
Well, I want to say thank you. I know we went over the half an hour for tonight. I appreciate
hold
it.
on, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry. I had locked my door.
Oh, it's all good. Oh, I hear him coming in now.
Yeah,
Hold on.
sorry.
I gotta. No. Hold on. There we go. That's
Yeah,
who's making all that noise.
Yeah, hold on. Come here, Mia. Jack. No, they're fine. You want to say hey? My boyfriend just walked in. He's like, what the heck's going on?
Hello, how you doing?
But yeah, so if they can just, reach out to their locals and just voice their desires for it, that would be huge. So
Yeah, and we'll make sure, and I'll keep spreading the word too, because we always come across you in these videos we watch, and I always say what an amazing person you are, and I always am happy to throw out those links when I see you. And so I'm definitely going to keep doing it every show. Again, I appreciate the hard work, everything you've done. Thank you so much for even giving me more than what you were available for. I really appreciate it. And seriously, anytime you have any free time and you want to hop on, I don't care what I'm doing. We will have a show and we will just continue to talk about this stuff and get the right thing to happen. So.
Absolutely. And if you want to collect some questions from your viewers, and if it's something I can answer as far as standing for Stephen is concerned or the hate crime bill, I'm happy to. I just have to be very cautious on certain questions and answers. So
Right. Okay, yeah, and we'll do that. If anybody would like to submit some questions, you're more than welcome, and then we can go through them. And like she said, if she can answer them, she can, and if not, we totally understand. Yep. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Ava, for putting those numbers up as well. Thank you so much, Susan. I really appreciate you so
it's
much.
Suzanne.
Suzanne, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. My parents spelt it wrong. They spelled it with an S instead of a Z.
Well, I had it as a Z, and then it was an S. So is it a Z?
No, it's an S.
No, it's an S. Okay.
It's an S. Yeah, so it confuses people. They think it's Susan instead of Suzanne.
Yeah, that's
Suzanne.
Okay. Well, from now on, I'll make sure I get it correct. Okay.
I've been called worse, though.
Hey, we all have.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much for letting me talk about the hate crime bill and standing for Stephen.
And thank you. And I hope you and your boyfriend have a peaceful and positive evening.
Thank you. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, sir. Thank you.
All right, dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Wow. Thank you so much. That was so awesome. Again, I'm going to throw this back up there. Oops, I thought we were back on the petition. I'll go ahead and throw the link up there again in chat. I know we were all spamming it, and I'm going to keep spamming it every show. And this is not a gay hate crime bill. This is a hate crime bill. So whether you believe whatever you believe, if it was a hate crime against you, you would want that bill, right? And that's how you have to think about it. That's how these senators need to think about it. Like she said, it passes the House. Why not the Senate? And not just South Carolina, Wyoming needs to get on it too. Come on. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me and Susanne tonight. I appreciate her so much. Appreciated her before she even said that she would hop on here and join us. Thank you, everybody that joined tonight. Thank you, everybody that's going to be watching in replay. And submit your questions, evilcj@gmail.com. You can find me, evilcj, on Twitter. Or you can find me on Discord, evilcj number 2540. I'll be back here shortly in a little bit, and we're just going to talk some more about this case. But I just want this video to be focused on Susanne for all the hard work she's doing, for all the hard work she's going to continue to do, and just mainly focus it on her. I can't wait to have her back again. What an amazing person. I can't say it enough. Thank you so much, Susan. I really appreciate you and everything that you've done, not only for Sandy and for Stephen, but for the community and for all of us too. And the message, the effort, the passion, what's in your soul, and allowing everybody to see that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see everybody back here in a little bit here shortly. Thank you. You guys mean everything to me, and I mean that from right here.